Good afternoon, and welcome to another installment of Chat with Kat. I have a very, very special guest. I'm super excited to have her. Before I introduce who she is, I just want to let you know this show is sponsored in part by Pristine Green Financial Solutions. Pristine Green is there in case you need for all of your financial needs. So let's get moving. So we have a very, very special guest. Like I said, we have a powerhouse. Aisha Moodie-Myrie is a real estate investor, speaker, mindset shifter, and also a powerhouse of purpose with over 20 years of experience in the real estate game industry and has a sharp eye for opportunity and transformation. From distressed homes to discouraged hearts, she's bringing renewal wherever she goes, whether through wholesaling, flipping properties, or shifting mindsets. As a seasonal investor, dynamic speaker, Aisha is known for showing up with both substance and style, always polished, always purpose-driven. As a cash buyer, she offers swift, reliable solutions for homeowners in distress, bringing immediate relief and peace of mind. Recently featured on NBC6, y'all, South Florida's Money Chat, Aisha had shared expert insights on the evolving housing market and why South Florida maintains or remains a prime region for real estate investment. Her journey is one of faith, perseverance, and bold vision. In a competitive market, Aisha continues to stand out through her adaptability, commitment to growth, and heart for helping others. She doesn't just flip houses, she transforms lives. Welcome to Chat with Kat, Miss Aisha. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kat, for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. So you have flipped a lot of houses. I am actually, even though I'm a real estate agent, I'm very, very new to wholesaling, and I just learned about it maybe last year, and that's where I met you. Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
So I'll tell a little bit about my journey. I started out in real estate, as you said, about 20 years ago. Each time I mention that, I can't believe time has just gone by so quickly. So I started out as a mortgage broker in the industry. And then I went on to getting my real estate license. And then from there, now I primarily focus on the investing aspect of real estate. So I've always been interested in real estate. I remember when I first relocated to South Florida from New York, there was a lot of new construction going up at the time. And I think I've been to probably every single model house in the area that I was living in at the time in the surrounded areas. It was just interesting to see the beauty of homes piqued my interest, and I just started from there, and I've been going at it since. I'm just so grateful for being able to be in this industry.
And I applaud you again, and I admire your tenacity after all these years.
Thank you.
So, like you have mentioned in your bio, you've worn many hats in real estate. You're a mortgage broker. Kudos, because I'm a mortgage broker
Was
too.
was a mortgage broker
Was a mortgage
many years
broker
ago.
many years ago, but
That's where I
kudos.
started out.
Okay, that's interesting because that's where I started off too. So now you're a realtor. You still hold the license, yes? Okay, and now you're an investor. What has that journey looked like for you over the past 20 years?
Well, I can tell you that the journey has not been easy. It's not rocket science, but at the same time, it's not the for the faint of heart. So I've just started out. The investment aspect really piqued my interest when I was up late one night and was watching an infomercial. And I said, wow, I've been in real estate, but I've never really heard about this aspect of real estate before. I know about flipping properties, and even that within itself, it was just so amazing when I saw people on TV flipping properties. And, now years later, here I am doing the same thing.
Flipping properties.
Yeah. So, from the infomercial, I went to, they had a little session for a few hours, and then they had a weekend session. And it really opened a whole new world for me because the way how they explain it, they say, "Oh yeah, I put this property under contract, then I paired up a end buyer or a fix and flipper, and I made 7,000, I made 8,000, I made 12," and I'm like, how do I learn more about this? So after that weekend, we spent a lot of money, my dad and I, signing up for the big course because that's how they get you. And the main thing that I got out of that course was join your local RIA. At the time, I didn't even know what a RIA was. So I Googled it and I just started showing up. And to this day, I still show up to, meetings, events, like not only in real estate, but also personal development, which is huge, especially if you're trying to grow as a person, if you're trying to grow as an entrepreneur as well. And we'll talk a little bit about that a little later.
Okay, awesome. So, what made you fall in love with investing, in the investing side of the business, especially wholesaling and fix and flip projects?
I think what it was for me is, I mean, real estate gives you flexibility in general, but just seeing the potential that it gives, just seeing, I enjoy seeing the before pictures and the after photos. Even this morning, I went into a house, it was really bad, but years ago, I would be, grossed out by it. And I'm like, okay, this could look like that in the end. And, we've done a lot of transformations. I'm sure you've seen some on, my social, which I'm trying
Yes.
to get a little bit more into.
Active one.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so I just like the transformation, with the wholesaling. It is, a quicker thing than the fix and flips. It doesn't take months. It could take days or weeks, a couple of weeks. So I just like the flexibility of that and the quickness of that as well. Quick money. It's
Okay,
not
good.
easy money.
But
It's a
it's
lot,
quick.
it's work, but it's quicker than a traditional fix and flip that would, take time for you to fix it up and then put it on the market and wait for a buyer.
Okay. So, for people unfamiliar with it, how would you explain what wholesaling is and what makes it such a powerful strategy in today's market?
Sure, wholesaling is essentially finding a distressed property or distressed situation, and you put the home under contract with the homeowner, which gives you equitable interest. And from there, you bump up the price a little bit, and then you find a fix and flipper or somebody that's looking to buy and hold for passive income and match them up, with the property. So essentially, you're the middleman, but it's a huge service that I'm providing because a lot of times the fix it flippers, for example, they're so focused in their rehab, their fix and flips. They have to meet with all these contractors and Home Depot and, the cities with permits. And, so it's providing a great service where they could just look at my email, look at a property, let me know, okay, I want to see this, and, make an offer. And, you know, once I accept the offer, we could close within a matter of weeks. And it saved them a lot of time, which also saves them money because if they were to market to homeowners, for example, a lot of fix and flippers don't know how to do that.
Hmm.
Neither do they have the desire to do that. They don't have the desire to be, watching the MLS every day or going through all of that. They just want something fast and
Right.
more efficient.
Okay. You've weathered many real estate cycles, and we're definitely in a cycle. What lessons did those tough seasons teach you about staying in the game?
Well, one of the important things to know is that there are going to be cycles in life, right? So we have up cycles and we have down cycles. In the up cycles, be grateful for that. In the down cycles, people tend to get discouraged, but we can turn that around. We have to not really look at the discouragement. We don't have to, I always encourage people, don't look at the problem, be solution oriented. So it's a matter of saying to yourself, what can I do to fix this problem? Or what can I do to get through this? Or more importantly, what is this season trying to teach me currently? Is it trying to help me to get, better at my approach? Is it trying to help me to get more discipline? Is it try to, teach me to be a better person? I mean, what is it? What is the lesson? And oftentimes it's in the valleys that we grow, because when things are going good, a lot of times we don't have time to, well, some people just practice gratitude all the time, but some people may not have time to show gratitude. So it's in those valleys that we grow, that we become a better person. So we have to take the good and the bad, and failure is a part of success. You can't be successful without failing. It's a learning process, and as I said, it's just helping us to improve.
That's a good word for just in general. That's a really good, encouraging word that you
Thank you.
said that there's a lesson in everything. And what is it trying to teach you rather than just running away from your problems? Like you said, what is it trying to, what's it trying to, what's the lesson in it? And I appreciate that. So I hope our listeners take away, not just only in real estate, but in their personal lives, what you just said.
Yeah, it helps us to be still, and that being still and quiet in the noise is so important to, just center in.
What's unique about the South Florida market when it comes to wholesaling and flipping properties?
So the South Florida market is unique. Number one, we have our warm weather. South Florida has great cultural diversity as well. South Florida has the homestead exemption and also the Homestead Protection Act.
Uh-huh.
So that, you know, a lot of people love that as well. We're just a great location close to the Caribbean and everything else. South Florida is also great because there's a lot of people are saying that it's going to be the next New York. You have a lot of major corporations that's moving into South Florida, a lot of businesses moving in. So in that, it's unique. People are always gonna come to South Florida no matter what because of the weather. I mean, who doesn't want to come to Miami and go to South Beach, you know?
That's
And yeah, and then even though like the prices are a little bit higher now in South Florida, it's lower than other places if you compare it to like California, for example.
okay.
So
Now, are there certain neighborhoods or types of properties you focus on when looking for deals?
I like to focus on more the bread and butter neighborhoods, affordability wise, because as you go higher in price range, you're going to have a lower amount of people that can afford that. So, just the bread and butter neighborhoods, and also not only neighborhoods like even though I would prefer the bread and butter, wholesaling is all about looking at distressed situations. A lot of times people think, if it's a distressed property, it's no, a lot, I'm sorry. A lot of times people may think the property has to be distressed if there's a distressed situation. But sometimes you have turnkey beautiful homes and the homeowners are just in a crunch as well. So, you have to have an open mind regarding that.
Do you think that the wholesale market is a lot more competitive now than when you first started?
Yeah, it's a lot more competitive now because a lot of people are knowing about it as yourself, and it's a lower barrier to entry where, you don't have to have a ton of money to start wholesaling, you know. So it's definitely more competitive because there are more people in the marketplace, but I wouldn't recommend that people focus if you're trying to get into wholesaling. I don't recommend that you focus on how competitive it is. Just stay in your lane and focus on improving yourself a day at a time.
Okay. So you're known for solving complicated deals, complicated real estate challenges. Can you briefly tell us a deal which your problem solving made the difference? I'm sorry.
Kathleen, it is probably every single deal. I tell
Wow.
you, in all my years of doing this, I could probably count on one or two fingers, not even a full hand, of an easy deal because everything comes with its own challenges. And any given transaction, there's so many hurdles, so many things that you have to overcome. You think everything may be smooth sail, and then, this pop up, a error pop up, or a lien, a violation, an open permit, something pop up, which because of my experience, I can deal with those, and we buy properties with all those situations. But it's just a matter of growth and, again, being a problem solver, just being a problem solver. I had a deal that closed just a couple days ago that we had about 30 challenges, a challenge every day or
Wow.
two, which is also why it's so important to have a good title company, an investor-friendly title company that knows how to navigate certain deals, certain situations to get you through it. And the title company that typically does my transactions, they are excellent, and they definitely go above and beyond. If it weren't because of them, the deal would have died 20 times. I mean, just to be very brief of one of the challenges that came up. So we were the title company was trying to get a payoff on
Uh-huh.
a third mortgage that was on the property. The sellers had an attorney, but they they were a real estate attorney, but they didn't really know much. No, I don't think they were a real estate attorney. I think they were a regular attorney, and they really didn't know the intricacies of dealing with the real estate stuff. So when the lawyer was trying to get a payoff for like 3 weeks, and my title company kept on telling her, just get me on the call with them. Fill out the proper authorization forms, get me on the call with them. She, thought she knew it because she's an attorney. And for 3 weeks, she wasn't able to get it. And then my title company, she finally agreed to do the call with him, and he was able to get that paperwork within 5 minutes. So knowing and just similar to being a wholesaler, you have to know what questions to ask, because that's what gives you the results.
Got you. That's good. With so much noise in the industry, what values guide you to this business?
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of noise in the industry. What guides me is basically understanding people and being kind and being, like, truly want to help. In the situation. Integrity is a big thing as well. But when you're doing transactions, you want to make it a pleasure for people to deal with you. You don't want to be difficult. You don't want to be arrogant. You want to be calm, but yet still get things done. A lot of times people come to me because, number one, they know I'll get the results, but it's just my attitude. I know how to deal with people. I know how to speak with people. I make people feel welcomed, and that has made a world of a difference.
What advice would you give to someone starting out, especially a woman of color?
Well, one of the things that I would want to say is, first make the decision. And a lot of times I find that people would say, "Oh yeah, I want to do this," but they're not really sure. And then I've seen people wanting to do it for 10, 20 years now and still haven't gotten one deal done. So you really have to make that decision, and then basically take massive action. Show up. Anything you can learn, of course, from a reliable source. Make sure you learn that. And one of the things that's so important is working more on yourself than anything else, personal development wise, than your business. You have to work on your mindset. That's so important, because you know what, Kathleen? If, like, some people approach it thinking, "Oh, I may be able to do it, but I'm not sure." If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. So you have to make sure that you work on yourself, whatever webinars or seminars or anything like that. Just keep a positive mindset in everything that you do, because mindset can really make or break you, right? Skill is only about 10%. Mindset is 90% of
Yeah,
what's going to make you successful.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true. That's a, yeah.
Yeah, you just have to just imagine getting into it, visualizing your goals, and using that vision to make you stay motivated.
Yeah. How do you keep growing and evolving after 20 years of business? And that's probably will be my favorite question because evolution is key, especially in anything that we do in wholesaling with there being so much not I want to say competition, but so many other people in this space. What do you do to keep evolving after all these years?
Personal development is one,
Relationships.
relationships and your network. You can never stop like meeting people. One relationship may open a door to, limitless possibilities for you. That's why I show up. I mean, I wouldn't have met you if I didn't make the decision to go to that meeting that time and like talk to people. I mean, you definitely have to talk to people. I tend to say I'm a more introvert, but someone pointed out to me the other day that I'm an omnivert. So
Yeah, me
I'm an
too.
introvert when I need to be and an extrovert when I need to be. But relationships, the power of relationships in business and entrepreneurship is immense, and it's the foundation of many aspects of your success.
Yeah,
Good relationships, as I said, with people in your industry can open doors such as joint venture opportunities, partnerships, fundings, referrals, collaborations, and introductions that would be hard to come by otherwise, you know? So, yeah.
that's good. How does mindset, well, you just mentioned it, but you might have something else to expand on it. How does mindset play an important role when it comes to real estate investing in other areas of your life?
It's everything. It's everything. Invest in yourself, invest in your mindset. When you invest in yourself and your mindset, you're going to profit in many ways. In fact, when you increase in skill, your talent, your knowledge, your mindset, and ability, then you make yourself more valuable to your clients and to your audience. So I'm always investing in myself. I'm in, mastermind certain, other professional stuff. Always invest in yourself.
Good. As we come to the end, parting is such sweet sorrow. What is one thing you wish someone had told you when you first started out?
It's a lot of work, but even though, I mean, they make it seem so easy.
Yep.
And what you don't realize initially, you have to wear so many hats. You're your sales and marketing person, you're your accountant, you're your bookkeeper, you are the business. It's a lot of hats that you have to wear and then have a personal life and have a family life as well. Prioritizing, well, first you have to prioritize yourself and pour into yourself first. And that's something that took me many years to learn. Even my husband like sees the difference with that with me now because you really can't pour into an empty cup. But just to say, I guess the one thing would be like you can do anything you put your mind to, as long as
Yeah. How can people connect with you?
sure, on Instagram, Aisha Flip and Inspire.
Nice. I'm definitely going to follow you now.
Thank
And do you
you.
have any upcoming workshops, projects, anything that you'd like to mention before you go?
Well, a lot of people over the years have been asking me about mentorship. I mean, I've helped so many people, not like, um, not in a structured way, but I think a structured mentoring program may be upcoming.
That's good. I probably will be one of your first students because
Thank you.
and when you for me in real estate, I know I understand and also in mortgages, I understand the intricacy in the loans and funding and the deal itself, but actually like you said, having to come in a distressed situation, not just a distressed property, like I don't think I would have the bandwidth to just start. And so for someone who, you're always finding deals, you're always like combing markets to find your next big thing. For some people, and I can say for myself, it's a little bit intimidating. So I commend you for doing that, you know?
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
it's always important, not only in real estate, but in any industry that you're involved in. mentorship is important because
It
guess
is.
what? You don't want to spend years making mistakes on your own. You want to learn from other people's mistakes and learn fast. You want to have the guidance from other people that have been through it, similar situations that could easily help you to navigate it. And someone reliable too, because there's, again, as you said, so much noise, so much information out there, but you want to align yourself with someone that has been around for a while and, have been through several market cycles and, has a team of people as well that they can rely on between myself and my power team, including my immediate team, title companies, inspectors, contractors, attorneys. We have over 200 years combined experience. So
100.
why, I mean, how for someone that's coming in, it's going to take a while to build that. And it'll be so much easier if you get plugged into your mentor's power team already instead of building it from scratch.
That's cool.
Money loves speed, so you want to try to expedite things as quickly as possible.
Amen. Well, I want to say thank you so much for joining Chat with Kat. It meant a lot to me. You definitely have provided a lot of insight. So I
Thank
hope
you.
that you will not be a stranger to the show. And when you do have your
Thank you.
mentorship, I would like for you to come back on and just, discuss
Sure.
it because there's so many people, including myself, that want to do it, but they don't know where to start. They don't know how to begin. And the funny thing is, I can tell on myself that I'm extremely book smart. But when it comes to like action, to be action oriented,
Yeah.
I kind of need, a boost. So
Yes.
definitely, please don't be a stranger to the show. I'm going to be looking for you now that I'm going to be following you on Instagram. Social media. I'm going to look out for your mentorship program and I'm definitely will
Sure.
be your first student.
Sure, sure. And I'll just leave the audience with this quote that I came across by Tony Robbins a few days ago. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin.
Nice. Thank you so much. You were
You're
listening
welcome.
to, thank you. You were listening to Chat with Kat. I was your host, Kathleen Barreau. We had the lovely and comparable Aisha Moodie-Myrie on the show, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad.